what's up, everybody? Here we are, episode 36 of the PalmWavePodcast. Daniel couldn't make it. He's out here running red lights and shit. So here we are. Our guests are Rozell and Notsew. They're some local DJs, producers, creatives. I think Rozell's working on some movies, and we're going to talk about some cool shit. So what's up, guys?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you, for real.
Yeah, it's been a little while in the works. I know that you guys have trying a few things out here. You're really hustling, and I wanted to hear about it. So here we are. It finally got to the point.
I mean, let's do this.
We have a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but just recently, Notsew dropped a whole project that I had 6 tracks on, right?
Yes.
6 tracks, and then one was his own production.
Sidetracked.
Right here. That's for you, bro.
Very nice. Oh, shit. Oh.
We got a little booklet in there and everything. Lyrics,
yeah.
art. Yes, sir. Sidetracked. Not on all streaming. Physical copies only.
Wait, tell them about the concept with that and why you chose not to go
Streaming?
Yeah, streaming.
Well, I mean, there's a lot into it, I feel like, but for the most part,
Yeah, you almost glazed over that.
Yeah,
It's not streaming.
It's not streaming. I wanted to disconnect essentially from, I feel like the whole project is about getting sidetracked from everything that art meant to me, essentially music. Because when I had met him, which was like a year and a half ago, I was creating and I was in a good spot, but like I felt stuck and I felt like I was in a writer's block. And he was giving me beats and I was like rejuvenated, like literally putting life into me.
How long have you been doing that prior to this blocked moment?
Music?
Yeah.
So I've been producing since I was like 15, which was 2014. But actually being outside and making music, it had been a year.
Like being outside making music, being like going places in public?
Like being in the scene in Tampa.
Okay.
My first show was a year before we met.
Okay. Are you from Tampa?
I'm not from Tampa. I'm originally from East Lake, Florida, actually. Technically Palm Harbor.
Okay.
But I've spent my
Florida
whole
man.
life, coming over here, which is like, it's like across the bridge. But like I've always been on this side of the bridge.
So you found yourself in this little rut, and the magic man with the fire beast came through and fucking broke the mold?
We clicked on like a lot of things outside of music mostly, and then the music was like, I'm like, wow, this man can make beats. This is amazing. So we just started hours, like honestly, just I would have work at 6 a.m. and we would be in his studio till 4 a.m. and I would drive straight to work and just be exhausted the whole day, working in the service industry, kicking my ass. But anyway, so yeah, Sidetrack was about just feel like I lost myself and I wanted to reconnect with what art was to me. And that was like with music. I would make music in high school and I would play it for my friends in the car and I would be like, all right, that song's done. You know, it's like that was completion to me because I was able to enjoy it with people in that sense. And then when I started putting it on streaming, it's like you look at numbers, you start caring about your followers, you start caring about all the shit, which is things I still care about, unfortunately, because it does matter. But it's like with the Sidetracked experience, I didn't experience that went with the project. I was able to get all those people I had grown up with, all the people I had met, and people I didn't even know into a room to listen to the project with me. And it was like, that was a phenomenal feeling. So the reason for it not being on streaming is I'm like, what can I do to build a foundation via word of mouth, basically? Because I'm like, it's one thing to have fans. I have people message me that are from Cal, and I only have whatever. It's not like I have a crazy following. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying I have people that have messaged me from California. It's like, yo, let me, like, dude, you're an inspiration to me. And that shit's amazing and it feels great, but I'm like, I can't come out there and do a show if I fucking wanted to. So it's like, I don't ever want to get in a position where I've heard of bands, they come back to their hometown to do shows and it's like, no one shows up. And I'm all like, I need somewhere where I can, my goal in life is peace and like have somewhere where I can live and be happy. So I'm like, I don't want to just be chasing something essentially. So I think that's the reason for not being on streaming, if that makes sense.
With the whole not streaming thing, the way that you're describing, organizing people, getting people together to listen to it together, it kind of reminds me of the way that people are talking about movies right now. How some movies are kind of skipping out on the streaming thing because they want to control that experience.
Yeah.
And the way that you're bringing people together to listen to the music together in that specific experience, cool people, chill vibe, you're all having a good time. That's kind of, you're curating the experience of listening to your music.
Right. And I think it's interesting you would say that with movies is because there's been like, I haven't watched too many movies. Like, I'm not like a movie connoisseur or anything like that. But I can tell there's been something even with the film industry that happened. I think it was like COVID, where it's like movies went away. You couldn't go outside. So then we got real into streaming. We got real into social media as human beings in general. So it's like, yeah, there's always there's like texture. Like when it comes to a beat, you know, there's like certain things you can do that just add texture to it. And like there's some things you can do in life that add texture to it. I feel like going to a movie theater is texture to a movie versus if I'm sitting and I'm trying to watch a movie, this is just me.
Right.
My dumbass brain is going to be like, there's no fucking way I can watch this movie right now. I'm not going to be fully connected with it. But if I'm in a movie theater, the smell of the popcorn, like the feeling of the people and like the chairs, the dirty ass chairs and everything that comes with it really makes it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's more commitment for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like we gravitated towards each other also from a movie angle, just cinematically. I feel like as creatives, we think that way, just cinematically. And I feel like not only sonically is he very cinematic, but this man like cares about his visuals just as much. That's another way that we connected and just like built on that.
Where'd you guys connect? Where'd you guys meet? You guys go to school or what?
No, because it's like you said, a year and some change ago, his friend Daniel was working at Lot 1901 in Ybor.
Is that a music place?
It's like it had like a few different it was like sectioned in a few different ways where like audio production, it was like a rented studio space.
Okay.
And I met him in there by doing some audio production, and then Daniel and me just like, you know, started chatting it up, and I'm like, man, like you seem like a great guy, you know, just making friends with him. And then he's like, we should chill sometime and you should definitely meet my friend Weston Notsew and all that. And now I'm all like, oh, you know, I'm down and shit. And then from there, I think we connected on Instagram, and then I sent him a track that I felt like he would go crazy on called like No Time. And it was just a demo of that with my terrible vocals on it, singing on it.
Hey man,
Nice.
They're not terrible and they're still on there. Track 3 on that project is called, I think it's track 3. It's No Time. Might be 4 anyways.
All right.
With him.
How long have you been going to that place? What was it called? I'm sorry.
Lot 19,
Yeah,
Lot
how long have you been
1901.
going there?
Literally, it was on some like, I feel a lot of things are happening very coincidental and very like, you know, by chance, because I only went there just because a guy by Mr. Audio, Matthew, he like extended just like an open welcome to come through, and then I came through, and then I wasn't even planning on being there like, you know, more than a couple weeks, just contract work. And then Daniel happened to be there at the same time. So I didn't stay there for too much longer. Like after that, like I was
You go to places like that a lot?
yeah, I try to like do contract work and just like stay open, because you never know what's going to be an opportunity, you know, that presents itself.
Or
So,
who
like,
you'll meet? Shoot.
who you'll
If
meet.
you're on the fence, just go to some place. Stick yourself out there. You'll never know what'll happen. Like just like this story right here.
Like I don't even know if they're around anymore, to be honest. Like so
I don't think they are.
I think it was like that's what I got out of that experience. Like, and to me, that's how I approach a lot of situations where it's like you never know what angle is and what door is going to open when you interact with it. And for me, that's my approach every time. It's like I know I can get something very useful, even if it's just information.
So you you said cinematic a few times, and you got a video camera. You know, you didn't say you're a film buff. I understand that, but what's cinematic about what you guys have going on?
Man, his project, tell him how, like, I thought it was pretty unique how he came up with how to get the most out of one song, where most people would just do a music video and then have to keep sharing that same music video over and over. He switched it up, and like, yeah, let him know about it.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's a great question. And also, it's like, so the first track on the project is called Merry Go. And I was like, when you just look at, dude, there's so much that goes into like Sidetracked and everything, like the algorithm and everything is involved with it, because there's so much shit, bro. It's so fucking deep, like where we're living right now and the time we're living in. But to try to keep it simple, it's like posting times, like when you post, what you post, where you post, and all that shit. I'm all like, well, unfortunately, all this shit matters also. So it's like, instead of just posting one visual, I'm like, yo, let me post a visual a week of the same song over and over again. Because people are going to forget you posted it the week before. They're not going to know what the fuck this is. I'm like, dude, this is a dope track. They're messaging me like, dude, this song is so good. I never heard it before. I'm like, dude, you've heard it twice. You messaged me the other 2 times also, which didn't actually happen. And thank you to anyone who listened. But like, yeah, I think just giving some people something to consume and like how can you do it creatively and use the resource we have now, which is social media.
I guess that's kind of one of the benefits of the lowered attention span of the audience now
Right.
is that kind of increases the replay value of your songs. Like you said, they didn't even remember they heard it already. You just change up
Right.
the visuals. Maybe it's a different spot in the song, and boom, it's like, wow, they keep playing it,
Yeah.
playing it. That's interesting. So you got different visual concepts with the same song.
Yeah. So it was all like, it was just visual, like something to consume, but more than just visualizers, I wanted to do like videos, if that makes sense. So, and it's also touches on, you just mentioned like, this is like attention span and everything like that we're dealing with. And I think,
What's your Instagram? Is it on your Instagram?
yeah, n.tsew. And also when you look at my Instagram, I have everything lined up because like everything goes together, if that makes sense. So this is a song. This is a song. If you go down further, this is just a time where I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So is this. But when you get to further down, you're going to see one called Merry Go. This was for the Sidetracked experience. And these are the 3 visuals for Merry Go that we did.
All right. What should I play?
Of these, I would say first one, 30 weeks ago, man. It's crazy.
It seems like even longer.
I remember
to be
being
honest.
in that damn hotel, man.
Wait, which hotel was that again? The Florida?
Floridan.
Floridan.
Isn't it stupid? It's not the Floridian.
Yeah, it's
Pisses
ridiculous.
me off.
The Floridan. Yeah, that trips me out sometimes.
Floridan.
Yeah, but that approach, I think, is like, it's still useful. It's not like that's already burnt out concept. Like, I'm seeing a lot of people do that, like the multiple takes. So it's definitely something.
That's the first time that I'm hearing of it. But I live under a rock, unfortunately.
Dude, I'm your next door neighbor then. I live under 2 rocks.
It keeps me curious. It's fine.
Keeps you fresh, man.
You're just battling the algorithm online. Like,
Yeah. Dude, that thing's hard to fight.
it's like you have to find the flow and work with it. You can't even fight against it.
Thank you for joining us. The current time is 11:48 a.m. The current date is Sunday, September 4th, 2022. Time is forever changing. Can we learn to capture the moments? Perhaps these moments can be captured by acknowledging their existence. Perhaps not. Let's begin.
Writing in circles, that's where my pen been on merry-go. Trying to find my mama, I wonder where did Mary go. Even at my lowest, I still know I'm chosen. Even at your best, your whole soul's still frozen. Even at my worst, these words still provoking. Even at my dimmest, the bright light still glowing. Even when I'm stuck, I got the faucet still flowing. Even when y'all fuck, I'm on the mind. I know you know this, it's a pain, ain't it? I run the game like Dame Waving. I'm a bit impatient, I got sick of y'all flaking. How you on the side and still hating? I guess you wasn't playing when you said I ain't playing. I ain't had to take it, it chose me. I'm just saying you the one, my guy, that's a bad statement. Yeah, curry your cadence. You like Pat Bev on vacating the Caymans.
To truly capture these moments, we must focus. It is easy to get sidetracked in a world full of stimulation. Close your eyes. Listen closely. Hello.
Oh, shit.
Thank you for joining us.
Take 2.
The current time is 11:48 a.m. The current date is Sunday, September 4th, 2022. Time is forever changing. Can we learn to capture the moments? Perhaps these moments can be captured by acknowledging their existence. Perhaps not. Let's begin.
Writing in circles, that's where my pen been on merry-go. Trying to find my mama, I wonder where did Mary go. Even at my lowest, I still know I'm chosen. Even at your best, your whole soul's still frozen. Even at my worst, these words still provoking. Even at my dimmest, the bright light still glowing. Even when I'm stuck, I got the faucet still flowing. Even when y'all fuck, I'm on the mind. I know you know this, it's a pain, ain't it? I run the game like Dame Waving. I'm a bit impatient, I got sick of y'all flaking. How you on the side and still hating?
Hello.
Take 3.
Take 3.
Thank you for joining us. The current time is 11:48 a.m. The current date is Sunday, September 4th, 2022. Time is forever changing. Can we learn to capture the moments? Perhaps these moments can be captured by acknowledging their existence. Perhaps not. Let's begin.
Riding in circles, that's where my pen been on merry-go. Tryna find my mama, I wonder where did Mary go. Even at my lowest, I still know I'm chosen. Even at your best, your whole soul's still frozen. Even at my worst, these words still provoking. Even at my dimmest, the bright light still glowing. Even when I'm stuck, I got the faucet still flowing. Even when y'all fuck, I'm on the mind. I know you know this, it's a pain, ain't it? I run the game like they ain't waving. I'm a bit impatient, I got sick of y'all flaking. How you on the side and still hating? I guess you wasn't playing when you said I ain't playing. I ain't had to take.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I never seen that. I didn't know that was a thing. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention enough.
But like, I mean, also shout out to Supernatural, by the way. My CDs are available there. Let me put my shit up in there. That was the last one. But best breakfast sandwich in Tampa. I'll say it, man. You ever been there?
What's it called?
Supernatural.
I don't think so.
Dude, you gotta go.
Where's that at?
It's downtown. It's on Polk. It's on like Polk in Florida, basically. Right in that general area.
True.
So
I don't get
good.
downtown too much.
If you ever do get downtown.
You just finished Sidetrack. You doing some cinematic stuff. What about these film projects that you're working on?
Yeah, I have a project that I'm calling the 3 C's Compendium, and my idea is that to do a short film anthology that they're all under the same umbrella. And the first film is Confession. The second film is Coincidence, because coincidence, as you know, anyone around me knows, coincidence has been a huge like thing in my life, especially in the last like 3 years. And then the last is Caution. So you have Confession, Coincidence, Caution, and all those have been scripted out and storyboarded, and like I'm just trying to make that happen. Just trying to make.
Are these song length films?
No, they range. Right now, the first one is 8 pages, so that's 8 minutes roughly, and then the second one is 15, and then the third is 20. And the third is pretty interesting because a lot of where I take inspiration from is definitely in my daily interaction, and just I think Nas said it recently where he's influenced. Everyone is a ghostwriter for him. Anyone he comes in contact with, they could say something in passing, and that could be an inspiration for a bar, or like, you know, and that's exactly how I do with my creativity. It's like someone's story that they're telling me where they just think it's just normal, you know, some interaction they had at the grocery store. You take it and then you just exaggerate from there. And it's like my grandfather told me of a dream that he had, and that ended up inspiring the third film, Caution. And I don't want to give anything away about Caution just yet, but I will say the middle film, it involves an experience that Notsew and me had where we met this kid at Salem. Do you know about Salem's, a late night eatery place, like gyro spot?
Late night for us.
Yeah, late night for us, because we're always in there like,
Yeah,
you
we
know.
share the same colors.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, shout out to Salem's, man. We need the sponsorship, especially after this shit. For Coincidence, it's based on straight up 100% on a real story. And the unfortunate part of this real story was at least the first half of it, I got to experience with Notsew right next to me. So that way I know I'm not schizophrenic. But then the second half, unfortunately, I experienced it while he wasn't with me, but I met him later that day and I told him immediately, like, yo, you won't believe it. So it wraps up that whole experience. And there's this kid that we met named Evan. And thankfully, I haven't seen him again ever since those 2 interactions. But it's definitely an interesting story. Like, I mean, I could tell it to you, but it's like, I don't know if you'd rather see it in film form. But it's like spoilers, you know?
I mean, yeah, if you don't want to spoil it, that's fine. You can maybe summarize it if you want people excited about it.
Okay, to summarize it, I would say it starts off with 2 friends meeting at a late night spot, let's say Salem's, and then they see a young kid running from the cops, and he comes in to the store, and then they invite him to sit down next to him and kind of just want to, like, you know, check out the youth and see what he's up to. That's how it starts off, and then it gets crazier from there.
Okay. All right. That's a good intro. I like that.
I miss Evan, man.
No, you don't. Trust me.
It's funny that you're working on an anthology, because I'm kind of doing the same thing myself. I had the first one. Listen, guys, if you haven't seen it, go on the YouTube channel. It's like it's a story part 1. It's not a whole lot of views. It's hard to find. It's on Instagram too, but It's a 1, 2, 3 part thing. It's not a true story, but it's how we started.
Okay. I think I caught that on YouTube already. Like
It's kind of inspired by Cowboy Bebop.
yeah, you guys were actually going pretty hard because it had that like retro, like it was you and your partner, Dan, right?
Daniel, yeah.
Daniel. And then you guys were like he pulls the gun up on you, right?
Right.
Yeah. I saw it. I thought it was
really
pretty
watched
straight.
that earlier too.
Yeah, the anthology angle, I think it's pretty interesting, especially how I'm approaching it is like, you know, a thematic trilogy where it's kind of like a lot of directors have pulled it off where it's like, for instance, like, have you seen Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and I think the Where the World Ends? Oh, well, there's a few
I've heard of
directors.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, like that's like packaged in with 2 other films, and it's like
Interesting.
he made them all in like not back to back, but very close to each other, and then they share. You can almost say they exist in the same universe, you know?
Oh, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel you. All right. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with this, with the anthology also. It's not, I mean, obviously my story is fake, but it's all metaphorical for what is happening in the podcast. So in my first video, I'm walking through the alley and I get a phone call and it says the packages are ready. And I just hang up the phone. And that's all this shit right here.
Interesting.
This is spoilers for what's happening in the fucking video, guys. This is secret stuff. But I say the packages are ready, and that's when you see him pull the gun on me. Because Daniel is destitute, and the world is hard, and there's no direction. We fucking young men need a purpose. And so he pulled the gun on me, and he tells me I'm lost, blah, blah. It's a ripoff of a scene from Cowboy Bebop. I never watched this show, but I caught a video on YouTube, and it was hella catchy with the fucking music, and I was like, inspired, this is what I'm going to make.
Right.
And so, yeah, I said, join me, I'm building something after he fucking blah, blah, blah. And boom. So that's a metaphor for starting the podcast. And the next one's going to be some random shit like fucking Law and Order. So totally unrelated,
crazy.
but on the same universe, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said that was your 3 projects. All right, cool. Hell yeah. You got your laptop here. I gave Rozell and Notsew a challenge today because I got a request. I need another 15-second intro for this damn fucking podcast because nothing will fucking clear copyright on YouTube. Nothing. Even the copyright-free stuff. Don't believe it, guys. It doesn't work. So here we are. We're going to try and get something done. Some 80s synth shit. Let's see what we can come up with.
You said there was an example.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Pull up one of the examples that I've used. One of the copyrighted examples that I've used.
Good texture. You want to be like a golf analyst on this, man.
A
Going in.
What?
He's going in for the beat. Going to the tube.
Crazy place, man. Raised a lot of us. And is raising a whole nother generation.
With the craziest, more crazy shit.
And reprogramming another.
Yep.
That was it.
Okay, I get it.
The Toms.
That late night Miami Vice shit.
You know who's phenomenal is Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
He is, man.
Such a great artist.
Well, like from
Unfortunately.
Tarzan.
Yo, I didn't even know
Can you
about
feel
that
it in the
till-
air tonight?
Dude, that song is so good. One More Night. Any song he has about the nighttime is just crazy.
All right, so let's see. That's crazy that in the 80s.
You don't even know what I was about to say, dude. How psycho. Of course, it's 88, man.
Well, that is 88 beats per minute.
Yeah. It's like, is that already like, just type in the, I guess, 90s and then 90s. Is that crazy? And then 2000s, does that count for anything?
Oh, God.
120 BPM.
It goes up. And now look at us now, dude. I'm saying, though, like 2020s, 140. Is that what you're
Double
going
time.
with?
Double time.
Double time, dude. And now we got hyperpop. It's like, you could go 300, bro.
Stop.
Shit, that's loud. Have you used FL Studio before or no?
I have. A real long time ago.
Stock is gonna be the most 80s shit, you know?
Literally.
Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Club PalmWave Podcast. This is your host, Derek, and your producer, Rozell. Hype man on the beat is Notsew. Give us a freestyle, Notsew, next time the beat comes in.
Do you want me to rap on this? All right, I got you.
I heard you when I went downstairs earlier. I know you can do it.
I'm trying to fix this camera. Once he gets to a place where he can let the beat ride, I'll freestyle.
I feel like I'm in fucking Night City. Have y'all played Cyberpunk?
I have.
I feel like I'm in Roku City. You ever been to Roku City?
What's that?
The loading screen of a Roku TV.
Oh shit. Oh
That
shit, yeah.
shit's tough.
God damn it.
That might as well be Night City, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy, I'm serious with the flow. It ain't nothing that a young don't know. Something on the chin when I hit it and I go. I ain't say no shit, I'm just trying to catch a flow. I've been in the stool like a motherfucker, oh. I ain't smoke no weeds, but I be blowing O's. Something about it, yeah. Bitch, I'm like, fuck it. When I come through, then the bitch gon' I know that they love it. Feel like I'm in a bit of loving. That was my freestyle, man.
Good enough for me, bro. And it's funny that you came in at the time that you came in, because I was starting to think up lines that I was never gonna say on the mic.
Yeah. And I said all of them, man.
All right, you said 15-second loop?
15-second loop.
All right, here we go. Let me just do this real quick. Let's just say the only 80s shit that came to my mind was X-Files. That's what I'm going. Alien / just wonderment. I mean, things that inspire conversation. So let's see.
I feel that, man. I feel that. That's kind of this podcast, right?
Right?
We talk about some weird shit sometimes. We believe it.
PalmWavePodcast.
Oh yeah, I had a guy in the Palmcast who thinks that all of Florida's history is a lie. These cities were already here. Crazy stuff.
What the hell does that even mean?
Oh man, you gotta go watch it. You gotta go watch it.
No spoilers.
I usually typically ask people at the end of the podcast if they ever seen anything paranormal.
Don't get it started.
Dude.
Don't get it started.
I don't know if I've
Please.
seen something normal.
This should tell you I've seen only paranormal shit all my life.
Paranormal.
All right, there's your intro.
That was 15 seconds. Hey, that was great. That was great.
All right.
Literally made a beat live on the podcast. Well, not live, but hey, we made the beat.
Damn, yeah, that gets confusing. We were live, but it's
Right.
not live to them.
Right. The audience. You talked about the inception of you and Daniel working together and how you guys came together for a project. We came together for Who Got It.
Yep.
And
Right. That's what I was also going to ask you guys. I wasn't sure if you had still doing it or if it was still going on.
It still exists, man. It's I think the thing right now is we don't ever force anything. And the reason I think the things that we do work in the manner that they work is because they happen how they're supposed to.
yeah, that's the
You know what I'm
approach.
saying?
That's the approach. I feel like almost our whole like interaction with each other has almost been like that, where it's kind of like, I wouldn't say we stumbled across each other, but it's like it wasn't a forced
Salute.
meeting. It wasn't
Yeah.
a forced meeting, and then we just started working with each other, going with the flow. Yo, that looks dope, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Like rare Pokemon aren't raw because you see them all the time, you know?
Right. And I feel like Who Got It, the inception of Who Got It was definitely, we wanted to be as symbiotic as possible, where I truly believe, especially in this day and age with all this technology, most of our interactions can be symbiotic. Like everyone benefits from being included or a part of it, you know, in some way, some fashion or some form. So going forward with Who Got It and where it began, that's always like at the forefront of like, how can we make the most symbiotic event and everyone can benefit in some kind of way. Whether if you're an artist going to Who Got It, then you get free content that you can share and post. You get a place to showcase your talent, invite people to come see. If you're an audience member, you can experience an event that's curated at a higher quality. And all our past events were free. And shout out to King State.
Yeah, shout out to King State.
They gave us a big opportunity to like build our resume as curators and as concerned citizens, really, because it's like in Tampa, we truly believe that this place is like it could be the premier city and a blueprint for how communities should thrive.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Who Got It, every time we start a project under the banner Who Got It, or definitely with our minds together and in our everyone we interact with, that is always the goal to reach past what we've done previous, but always maintain the accountability and the things that a community needs and asks for. We're working behind the scenes. We're working behind the scenes. I'll say that much. And that when it's time when we call on the community,
When the water temperature's right, man.
yeah, we'll definitely hope that we go Marco Polo with a call and response.
Yes, sir.
So we're on it. We really feel like we're on an island in Florida. Like this place is really like, in a world of its own.
Mhm.
So with Who Got It, we're trying to bring that experience as
I'm
well.
fucking telling you, I was thinking about this shit yesterday. I'm like, I see a lot of people leaving right now, and I mean, we've been seeing people leave,
Right.
and it's like, what everybody that's from Tampa is gonna go do, and what Tampa is gonna be looked at as in the future in terms of a creative space. And I'm not like one of those people that's like gasses shit up for no reason or like has a false sense of hope or like anything like that. I'm like, I genuinely believe if someone does a documentary on Tampa and starts doing it right now, it'll be fucking crazy, because there's just like the what brews here, and we have it with athletes too. Like something, I don't know what it is with Florida, specifically this area. It's like we brew the craziest shit. And I think what we're able to do in Tampa is amazing. And I think we want Who Got It to be representation of what's possible in Tampa. And that means only operating at the highest level. So
when do you guys start production?
Oh,
The
it's-
documentary.
as I never stopped.
Man, to be honest, man, like another thing that I'm very thankful for, honestly, like I've seen over 1 million documentaries by now, because to me, meeting other people is a free documentary. And it's like, I got to see Notsew, an independent artist, work on so many dope projects and bring a lot of things to fruition right in front of me, and also be a part of it. And it's just like to see that's like a ticket to a documentary that's like exclusive. Like, and I feel like my brother Justin Coffey and I, we both have that outlook when it comes to interacting with people, that you're getting a chance to see something behind the scenes. Like, it doesn't matter what level they are, they have something to bring to the table. And like, I think that Tampa is full of these like creatives. You won't even know how many people are around you until you really go looking. And I think Who Got It is really, that's why it's called Who Got It. We're asking like who, you just go call and response. So it's been very inspiring to have that. And I look forward to like continuing to the best of our abilities and really getting something for the community. Like, we need what every other place has that's a standard, like Chicago, New York, where they have like residencies for artists, like a studio they like curates artists and gives them free studio time, like a space, like we can't just be relying on what's been here and hasn't like really improved.
Right.
You know, they're just here and they take all the credit and all the resources. So I think it's about time that we get some new blood in there, and also more than new blood, ideas that can carry on.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm looking forward to it. Next time it pops up, me and Daniel might be there interviewing people. We got a couple of mobile mics.
Dude.
Yo,
Might make some live stream interviews or some shit.
Hope they're portable.
Artists and also guests, you know, get some vibe checks and shit like that.
Are the mics waterproof?
I mean, it shouldn't be that much rain, right?
Yeah, that's true.
you
Or-
seen gas
or is it just rain or is it champagne? I don't know what this
Salt
wetness
water,
is, but yeah, that should be cool, man. I like the vibe. I like the energy. It's definitely something that we've talked about on the podcast with almost every, you know, artist or producer, DJ that comes on. There's no real hip hop specific joint. You know what I mean? Everything is all EDM. Everything is just not hip hop specific. It's just these little offshoot things, and there's no that one standalone go to place.
Yeah, I
That's
think
a real backbone.
we definitely seen that white space on the whiteboard. And I feel like not
What do
only
you
do
mean
we,
the whiteboard?
like whenever you look at Tampa and you try to see where instead of just see where you can fit in, see where you can fill in.
Right.
You know, if something that hasn't been done yet, something that actually needs action, you know? So I think that's exactly how we approach everything. And that's why anything we do going forward, it has to be just like that. Something that hasn't been done yet, something that we can fill in. And I don't know if we, just by our frequency of energy, just how we move, attracts like-minded individuals. It seems to be doing that, because every artist that we've come in contact and just any other creative and community member, they share that same vision as far as they look to fill in the blanks. And someone that I definitely want to shout out is Shael Blinya, because this man did a 7-stop tour in Tampa and the surrounding areas, a local tour. I don't think anyone ever pulled that off, a 7-stop tour. And
7 different places in Tampa.
well, this is
in the Bay Area.
Yes, and it was a coffee shop tour.
Yep.
Wow.
And it was very,
Drink up, man.
very insane. Very
Artists
insane.
out now must not be hard to reach.
And he pulled it off with little to no help, and even gave other artists opportunities, including myself. Like, he named the tour the coffee shop Detour, and spelled it COFFIE, which is my last name, how I spell coffee.
Why is that?
Because he's one of my frequent collaborators, and on his project that he released, I had a few tracks on there, and then it's just something unique, you know.
What's up?
So it was dope. Like,
He organized it himself.
organized it by himself.
He's a
Got
beast.
all the stuff. The dude's a beast, and
a
it's like
beast, man.
these are the artists that when they put in that much work, we should have a hub here for them to keep thriving. And then they not only set the example for like what's needed from an artist from Tampa, so we can back them as a community, but they can get kind of like, you know, something, a little bit of a give back for all they give back, you know.
Yeah. And artists like that shouldn't feel like they have to leave, man. A lot of
No.
people leave when they shouldn't have to.
No, that's why we gotta support them when they do shit like
Hurts.
that.
For sure.
So that energy is reciprocated.
100%. I think the reciprocal energy and the symbiotic energy, that's been big. And it's I'm not going to say everything's easy, but it's just that it makes it a little bit more it makes you a little bit more grateful whenever you see at just as much as you give in, you see at least being paid forward at minimum if it's not given right back to you. So
No,
if
I
we
can't
can build
imagine
that culture,
the hoops that he had to get through to get that stuff set up. I've had a few ideas of trying to get some sort of live version of this show right here, and just the process of asking people what venues are like, blah blah blah. It's just it's a lot to move forward for sure.
I'm
You drink a lot of coffee?
Hmm?
You drink a lot of coffee?
Not every day, but for certain things.
Is that like Keurig coffee?
It's secure, yeah.
Yeah.
I got the mocha pot downstairs though, like the Cuban coffee.
Yeah.
Depends on how much time I got.
Dude, I'm a barista.
That's what you do for employment?
Yeah.
Where at?
King State.
Oh, okay. Where is King State?
It's on Florabraska in 75, or Florabraska in Florida in Seminole Heights, Tampa.
And that's where you guys are gonna stay having your events?
No. I mean, we're
Until you
we're
go
always
out of
tapped
it.
in. We're always tapped
in. Yeah, King State, they do a lot of dope shit. They do a lot of shit. And they have another location. They have a lot of things going on for them. So it's like, my point being, I'm like, if you want some coffee, man, come by. Say what's up, man. I'll pour you a little latte.
King State. I'll put it down in my books. I like trying new coffee spots. I've been to like different things around town. Nothing super noteworthy. Obviously, the biggest one is like Blind Tiger, most people would say.
Bro, don't play with King State. It's food and wine, bro. King State is the best coffee in Tampa.
Really?
No question.
Is it a
Easy.
standalone place or is it a
is.
franchise?
It is a standalone
That's another
place.
thing that I want to get into is fucking going to places and fucking just recording myself, enjoying, being a patron. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen Action Bronson's Fuck That's Delicious?
Yeah, yeah, it goes hard.
That kind of stuff. I want to get into that with just going to different places and enjoying the shit. Maybe King State might be the first spot. I go up in there and act a fool with some coffee.
Dude, it's a place, man. It's a great creative space. So come by, man. I'll be there.
Hell yeah.
One of the 4 days of the week.
I'm sure you guys have a lot of artists that like hit you up and be like, yo, can you produce or make something for me, blah, blah, blah. How do you manage that?
Man, for myself, I feel like I'm a very recluse individual, but I do love building.
Recluse individual. You definitely give that vibe off on your concerned citizen page on Instagram.
Yeah.
This man is just a hermit, lives in his fucking lives up with his hands like this.
Yeah, man. I feel like I like to have in the moment creativity. So and to build with somebody further than just the music,
You mean further than, hey, can you just sell me the beat?
yeah, like with Notsew, Shael, everyone I've worked with, it's like we try to build on it. And it's like, of course, you can't have a crazy close friendship with everyone, but there's something that you can build more on where it's like, yo, I'm not just sharing your content. And I can give a tip to artists, a way that you can truly sell pitch yourself to a producer or a videographer or something of that kind, is that you show them how you're gonna drop your content, release your content, show them that it's like, I don't just, we made a song and then I just post a Google Drive like phone recorded of the single and then it's just like, it's out now. It's like these people are gonna have like a vision for how they want their projects to roll out. They'll have visual content that they're doing their own. I didn't have to pay them, they're doing it themselves, and that promotes you too. And that symbiotic relationship for me is what gets me out of my house. So like, that's basically the best way. That's how I deal with it. So if I see, anyone, approaching with kind of just like the only like, take kind of like mentality and like not seeing that we can do more with it, then it's kind of like, I don't even want to begin there,
There's I think it was, I know we both saw it. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was this dude talking about, he doesn't, people are like, yo, what's your price? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I only do free work. But he's like, the only reason I only do free work is because I only want to work with people that I fuck with. And if I fuck with what you're doing, I'm going to want to work with you. So basically, why would I charge you? There's a certain level, like when it comes to royalties and shit, that's a whole nother conversation. But I was just talking in terms of like actual price, because it's like, for me, I guess when it's like, for beats, it's like prices and people are asking this, and that. And I'm like, dude, I could charge you, some people like $700 for a beat and not feel confident in that, because I'm like, I'd rather give this to somebody that I know is going to do something that I'm proud of because it's my art still. I'm still connected. I'm connected to that beat forever. Like, I don't know. Anyways,
It's like a like a short-term profit versus a long-term type of thing, right? You can sell it, or you can take it, work with it until it's something that's far more valuable than that short-term purchase would have produced.
Yeah,
right.
And you can create something that you can put into the world, and that's dude, I love that shit, man. I love creating stuff that I can give to the world and know that it's benefiting people, and there's actually a message. And there's actually substance behind whatever you're creating. And it's like, I wrote a children's book that I'm waiting on like to release. And I feel like that lane, dude, all that shit, that's a whole conversation. But like,
you wrote a children's book.
Yeah,
can we talk about that?
We can. Yeah. It's called, so I think my plan right now is called The Perfect Blue. And it's basically just about this guy. And it's kind of a play on, for me, creative block. And it's this artist, and he goes out and he's a painter, and he's walking through the city, and he's trying to find inspiration. And slowly through the story, he starts dropping hints. You start to like realize that he's looking for something, and he's going to spots that he once shared with somebody else, but you don't necessarily know who or what. And then he keeps going to these places, and he finds this flower that's like this perfect shade. And then he starts running back home, and he gets home, and he goes and he finished painting, and it's a painting of him and like somebody that he was once very close with that has passed, and he fills in like the final flower of that color. But it's kind of all about art. You can sit and do the same thing over and over, and you might get bored, or your brain just might shut down. So it's like you need to go outside, and you need to have those experiences, and you have to live life basically to be a creative. You can be a creative without going outside, I guess. But it's kind of like, for me, my best work comes from sharing stories, like I just mentioned. Like,
that's a pretty profound story. That's a children's story.
It's more of like, I think it's a children's book. It's like Shel Silverstein vibes, which I've been watching this podcast, it was a podcast about Shel Silverstein. Do you know he made music?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, what? He has a whole album that goes with The Giving Tree, even.
Yeah, wow.
But anyways, that stuff is inspiring to me, and I feel like feeding the world substance, I guess. I love that shit.
That's what's up.
Or sometimes not. Sometimes
A
just
children's fucking book.
dude.
You have to, man.
Why not?
It's a resume that your resume shouldn't only be your career.
Why not? No, but it really, like, honestly, so no jokes. Like, writing that children's book, that's really fucking important, because it seems like the only institutions or entities that are really focusing on children are the ones that are a little, trying to get something out of it, exploitive. It's not enough of us as individuals literally trying to create content to inform and guide children.
And it's a hard thing too, which I almost don't even want to say.
A diversity of perspectives. We really need that to create content for them, because they're only seeing things from one perspective. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Because like I remember when I first met Rozell, and he would talk a lot about PBS, and like it was just this seed that was planted in my mind where I really started to care. Not that I didn't care, but I realized I cared about what was being fed to a younger generation. Because we don't have, like, I don't know if kids, I have nieces and nephews that are young, and I know they're not experiencing Saturday morning cartoons or reading a book at night in the way that I was as a child. And that shit hurts. Because I'm all like, it's hard because we live in a world where you have to be kind of protected almost, which I understand. But the point of what I'm saying is the children matter a lot, like you're saying. And I was going to say something else, but I don't remember what it was. But
I don't know. I mean, this is kind of like the origins. I mean, not the origins, but like go back to the very beginning. What does Wu-Tang always say is Wu-Tang's for the children.
The kids.
It's for the kids.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And I think like when Notsew says protecting, like they're kind of like shelled and like made sure that they're only consuming this and that. It's like sometimes you limit their exploration and like their own creativity with that. And I feel like at least giving them a plethora of good things, even if it's stuff that's been curated, is like at least giving them some form of exploration where they can be like, let me choose from all this stuff. So we don't just like every kid had to read, Harry Potter, it's like, let's have like a bevy of things for them. And then the different perspective is huge. And I had the honor of reading this book, at least an early version of it. And it does have that Shel Silverstein importance to it, where it's like, it's not simplified. It's just said as is, you know, and so anyone can understand that, and it can connect a little bit deeper.
I think it's really satisfying too as like a writer, because I think when I'm writing music, as I'm looking at this Kendrick Lamar poster you have over there, there's like a certain complexity you want to have with your music that I feel I've accomplished. But then there's also this other level of like, let me just say what I'm trying to say. Because I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I want to talk about.
That was one of the beautiful things of the album, right? Of Mr. Morale.
Like the complexity.
Like it was some deep shit, right? It was some deep shit, but he wasn't saying it complex. He was saying it straight up.
Right.
At the same time, it's still deep.
And in my mind, I was thinking specifically To Pimp a Butterfly, because I think conceptually, and the shit he's talking about on To Pimp a Butterfly is some of the craziest writing and concepts to ever be delivered on a platform of music. And he says really intense, deep shit that requires, I'm not going to say knowledge, because I don't want to make people feel like if they don't understand it, they're stupid, because that's not it. But it takes research. You have to really look into what the fuck he's saying. And it's all like, that needs to exist.
It does. Right? And that goes back to what you were saying with the children. They need to have that room for exploration. And part of that is not making everything super simple. Like that book that you described, this person is going to all these different spaces, and it kind of seems like there's something missing until the very end you see that it's a person. And that profoundness of emotion might be a little over ahead for some children, but it allows them to grow by testing them.
Right. But I had read this. The final line is, I paint because I still love you. And I feel like as a child, I know if I was reading that and my mother was reading that to me as a kid, I would hear her say that line to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's all like, oh, my mom loves me. So it's all like shit like that can still get translated. So even as a kid, there's a lot of like, you watch movies. I was watching something recently where they do like the little, the fucking Dr. Seuss, man. The goddamn Cat in the Hat. I'd never actually watched that movie. I watched it the other night. The movie is just littered with like things that innuendos. And if you're watching with your parents, they're gonna be giggling, and as a kid, you're like, huh?
Something for everyone.
Yeah, and I feel like as a kid, it's like, okay, as I get older, I can understand this more. It'll make more sense to me. And then it's the same thing with the giving tree. It's all like, oh, it's a tree and it gives you apples, it gives you whatever you need, and then you can sit on a stump. That's awesome. But you grow up and it's like, a point in your life, you're like, oh, this is really dark. And then another point in your life, you're like, oh, I get it. We all do that shit. And I think there's just like something, and that's the thing is like, I like giving, not that I like giving and it's the only thing I do, but I enjoy having things to consume and like content to chew on more than just like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can have
more than just junk food.
Yeah, 100%. Because you can have 7 million streams and I'm all like, you're telling me, I don't know. I was going to say some shit I shouldn't say. But I'm basically like, that shit doesn't determine your value. You know, numbers, they matter and it's cool. And don't get me wrong, I want 1 million streams on a song. Really fucking bad. But I'm all like, I understand and I'm reminding myself every day that's not my value. And everybody in the world, your value is not determined by anything other than what you, I can't say decide your value is, because you can decide some stupid shit. But for the most part, your value is like, it's a journey, you know? It's not just statistics, I guess, is how I feel.
Yeah, you're right, bro. It's like, what's it called? It's all about the journey, not the destination. Bingo.
I'm a big Kobe fan too, so that shit gets more and more true every day.
I'm not super informed, so I came to a really bad conclusion on what you meant there.
Oh, I mean, Kobe Bryant's whole...
Kobe's destination was in the hills. What are you talking about?
That shit. I seen some fucked up shit the other day that I wish I never saw on that topic. But on the other topic, Kobe's whole thing was always like, just work. Just keep working. He has this one line that always sticks with me. And he was like, if you show up to a situation and you're anxious, he's like, not anxious necessarily. I think he used the term nervous. He's like, you didn't prepare enough. So it's just like this level of preparation. He was obsessed with the journey. He was like, he would win a championship. The day after he retired, I think the next morning he was in the gym at 5 a.m. He's like, okay, on to the next. Like, what am I going to do next? And then he went and got a fucking Emmy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he's just obsessed with the journey. And if you care about the destination, man, that's when that depression and that anxiety and a lot of mental health shit really starts hitting you. And I'm saying that as somebody that deals with that shit for real. So it's like, I don't know. there's a lot of things you can try and do, I guess. I'm just talking, man. But it's a podcast, so I think I'm allowed.
I agree. And I feel like even if something is like, you can take the metaphor of like when you're doing push-ups and you're on your last set and then you're like, okay, I said I was going to finish with 50, but I'm just going to fucking tap out at 30. But then you're like, if I got to 20, it's 10 more, or I can get to this. Then you keep telling yourself, I can get to this. And then it's like, I think sometimes you have to achieve it like that. Sometimes it isn't as seamless as you would want it to be. But you take a second and stand back and be like, wait a minute, we got right here. Like, I can't like give up. Like we got right here. So then it's like, you might as well go the extra mile, get right there. And then, you know.
And the crazy thing is, if you would have stopped at 20, you would have thought you could only do 20.
Exactly.
You could have always done 50.
Every time you give up, you're making it that much harder to achieve your ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like you already had it in you, bro. Like you already have it in you. Like it doesn't matter. That shit is already inside of you. It's just you doing it necessarily, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. It sounds like we're training for a fucking fight.
Dude,
Did you guys watch the fight?
The Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis.
You guys see it?
Yeah, I saw it live. You know, it was an outcome that I expected because I just think simply Ryan Garcia is a great fighter, but experience-wise, it's like Gervonta Davis getting trained since he was a little ass kid with arguably one of the top. He should at least be in your top 5. Floyd Mayweather Jr. It's like, how are you going to compete against that guy on your rise up? And then on top of that, he splits his focus with like his social media image. So it's like I seen it as like kind of difficult for him to overcome all that against somebody that's just a dog.
Yeah. Ryan Garcia's got a lot of swag, but it's
yeah. But I can see him definitely being a future champion if he hones in on a lot of stuff. And then one thing I'm a huge fan of is anytime a fighter, you know, loses a battle, is like you can still overcome that by learning from it. And like, hell, try to see if that dude will take you up on like, learning from him. You know, like sometimes it's like that. It's like, yo, you didn't get me this time, but like, come to the gym, train with me. And I think Israel Adesanya was saying that with his fight with Alex Pereira, like he was wondering if Alex could show him in where he's from some of his techniques for how he was throwing his kicks so untelegraphed. And I think that's some of the smartest shit, where it's all like there's still something we can both gain out of this, you know? Right. So
I feel like they were kind of set him up to lose. There was no way that he was going to win that fight. Garcia was not going to win that fight.
I don't think so.
I mean, was Davis ever a slow fighter?
No. They try to make it seem like closer and closer up to the fight. They did a great job selling the fight.
Right. Making it seem, he moved up classes. He's slower than he normally is. Garcia's lightning.
Right.
It's going to be a fucking... Yeah, right, man.
And then I think Garcia...
The one thing that the guy was not supposed to do was overcommit. He pretty much came to the fight to overcommit.
Right.
That was his goal.
He got sold on the fight himself. He's like, I'm going to throw my left.
He got played like us.
Yep, straight up.
That's crazy. When you get caught up in the own hype, that's wild.
That's crazy that your own ego can either make you, in the same like being inflated, it could either make you and bring you to that next level, or it can also fuck you up because you were ill prepared.
That's so funny. And he tried to come in with a little humility. I don't know if you guys noticed, or you know that Mike Tyson usually starts the fight with no robe and just his black shorts.
Yeah.
Garcia started the fight with no robe and just his shorts. But this is like, what are you doing? Like, you were showboating the entire time, staying on social media, blah, blah, blah. You did not have any humility.
And he wants to be the greatest, but the greatest work, man.
And definitely with Mexican fighters and like their great, you know, everyone that's come before, it's like they're very big on being humble and being like, you know, like people that just...
Well, he's American, isn't he? Isn't he?
Yeah,
American?
He's Mexican-American. So I feel like he kind of went a little too, you know, Americano with it and went crazy with it, you know?
Yeah, I watched the fight. It was a good fight. Very upset. Didn't like the way that it ended. It was obviously it was going to end that way, but like it kind of just didn't look like it was supposed to end right there with a punch to the chest.
Right.
That was some weird shit. I don't know if it's because the dude had such a small torso. Like, he's got a small torso. He's kind of a lean guy, Garcia.
I think you can't underestimate like a body shot that is like, and I think it's also a little bit of an opportunity for him to be like, damn, like I didn't come prepared. So he's like kind of takes the knee. Like he could definitely stand up, but it's kind of like, nah, like he knew that he failed himself in that situation.
I mean, I feel like that you see people get hit with body shots a lot, and I just feel like usually the drop's a lot quicker. At least they might stand up for a second, but you can see it on him. It looked like
It takes some work though. I feel like he didn't have that many body shots. That was like kind of the one.
And then he was backing up and all, but then it's just like suddenly
Can't
it's all
breathe.
like controller turned off.
That's weird
Yeah.
shit, man. That's weird shit.
logged off.
They're like talking to his earpiece.
Or,
like,
or
2
that
mil.
Mayweather money came in. Who knows?
Right.
You never
Nah,
know.
it looked like
It
he
was
lost
legit,
that. He
though.
lost
It
that
was
fight.
legit.
He wasn't ready. Play any games?
I've been playing a lot of Zomboid. Do you know about that?
Project Zomboid?
Yeah.
Oh man, one of the YouTubers I watched, he plays that Ambiguous Amphibian. He's a Floridian actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Ambiguous amphibian. I have to look into.
Yeah, the way that he narrates his gameplay is like over dramatic and existential.
Mm.
Kind of makes it like more of a big deal than what it is. It's funny, sarcastic. But yeah, the game looks fucking crazy. Kind of like a zombie game with the aesthetics of a Sims and a hardcore RPG mechanics.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Me, Tyven, which is like a local producer, and then my cousin Patrick, and then Bo Monk, another local producer that's also a part of the team. It's like we're just playing that, just goofing around on Discord, and it's just like if you think I'm loud into the mic right now, just wait until you get a hold of Tyven
Dude, I knew you were gonna say
screaming in
Tyven,
your
bro.
fucking ear.
Wait until you open the door and 5 zombies pile on.
Yes, sir.
But that game is pretty dope just because I feel like it's a very realistic approach to a zombie apocalypse where it's like these zombies aren't outsmarting you. They aren't faster than you. They're not stronger, but it's just like you have to deal with the depletion of your own energy and resources. So like sometimes you're going to get caught with the pants down. Like you're really like, damn, I'm out here with no bandages. I'm starving. You know, like
It's a crazy game. You never seen it?
I know.
It's
it goes hard, man. You gotta take a peek at it.
You're on the Mac with it?
No, hell no. I'm on the remember with my other laptop, the Windows.
Okay. I'm like, I can't
It
play-
does work on Mac.
It
though.
does?
Yeah, it does.
Dude, I can't play anything on my Mac. Can I?
It's like a really low graphic game. It's like top
Really?
down and like it's like, you know,
like I said, the aesthetics of The
Yeah.
Sims.
yeah, it's just very like
Interesting.
that. And it's like you still have combat and other stuff, but it's one of those things where like in a team environment, you know, it's a lot more fun. And then
That's
I'm
where it
a
gets
blame
fun.
guy.
The team dynamics.
Yeah, I love to blame shit on
You're like,
people.
yo, watch that
Yeah.
door, watch this door. Dude,
Yup.
you weren't watching the fucking
Yup,
door.
yup.
Dude, we had the meat. Why'd you took all the meat? How would it?
Yeah, like how am I
Right.
supposed to survive? You know?
That's crazy.
funny.
I just play Skyrim.
Oh man, can't stop playing that.
Dude, still on that shit.
Wouldn't stop. None of my friends got fucking gaming PCs, but like, you know, they got Skyrim together on the PC, right? It's
Okay.
a mod where you can play together with your
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
What?
It syncs up all the quests and stuff, works together.
Stop.
You play with your buddies.
Stop.
What are you playing on? Your Skyrim
Xbox.
on the Xbox? Yeah. Well,
The original Xbox One.
oh, okay.
Opening night, man. That shit is huffing and puffing. I also play Human Fall Flat. You know what that is?
Yeah, I play that shit before. It's like Gang Beast a little bit.
Yeah. It's like a puzzle, weird mechanic game.
Uh-huh.
They're like clayish type people and
Yeah.
they're being ridiculous.
It sucks, man. It's a stupid game. But every time I get off work, I'm so tired. I'm like, I'll
It's
just
just
play this
punishment.
till I fall
I mean,
asleep.
I've seen you go ham on like Rocket League and all that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. I play that too. A little bit. No problem.
A couple of podcasts ago, I had a dude that was streaming on there. I think he's like, I don't know what, diamond level or some shit like that.
Rocket League?
Sheesh.
On
Jesus.
Rocket League, yeah, he's pretty good, I guess. But yeah,
My highest level was like, I think I was like Diamond 2. I think Platinum's after Diamond. I used to play with my homie. He was raw.
I'm not that good. I can't do
raw.
that. Jumping off the fucking, never
Bro.
touches the ground, gets all the goals. What the hell is this? I thought I was
man.
playing Rocket League.
I'm just watching. I'm like, hey, man, what do you want me to do?
Yeah,
Like, you need some water?
Well, all right, everybody. That was episode 36. I hope you like cooling it with Rozell and Notsew. Look out for Who's Got It Tampa and anything that these guys are making.
Sidetrack
Film-wise,
Deluxe.
anything. Music, good shit, guys. Appreciate you guys. Anything you want to say before you get off?
I got something to say. You want to go first?
I'll just keep it simple, man. Be a concerned citizen in any community you are in.
100%. Dude, that went hard. Also, I got my new project. Sidetracked is out. I'm dropping the deluxe. I'm slowly dropping it on all streaming. So I'm dropping a single a week as it is right now. The last drop was Do You Trust Me? Out now on all streaming. And next week should be games if things go right. So, yeah, man.
All right, everyone. Peace out. Remember the children.
Remember the children.